That's how we think. Hurt? Just give us a call. It's all nights.
Hey, Jill, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that, but what about this?
Are you 64.com?
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your first alert.
These images are just 5 months apart. This one, taken as a burglary suspect, is booked into Bamberg jail. And this one, just before his death.
Oh, no, I just don't want him hurting you guys.
I'm not worried about that. I don't want him dying.
Those were some of the 51-year-old father's last living moments. But should he have been in a psychiatric facility instead of a jail? Now, 2 lawsuits are shedding light on a deadly disconnect.
Before his death, Wrdw was a single father of 1 who stayed with his parents. When he turned 20, a medical diagnosis changed everything.
But first, a warning that what we're about to describe and show you will be graphic at times. Hallie Turner, live for us in the newsroom to walk us through this timeline.
Well, documents show that even though Wrdw was diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder at the age of 20, and later diabetes, he was able to manage everyday life by staying on those medications. But after a short stint off of his meds and a stay in a mental health facility in January of 2022, he went missing and ended up in Bamberg. He caught a burglary charge, and after that, life as Wrdw knew it was about to change forever.
The man you see here in the back of this Bamberg County police vehicle is Wrdw, but this is also Wrdw. Just 5 months later, less than 2 weeks before his death in a hospital in West Columbia, South Carolina. So what happened between Valentine's Day and July 23rd of 2022? This lawsuit filed by Thibodeau's estate says it's what didn't happen. They're accusing Bamberg County of serious neglect causing Alan's death.
Are they kicking over there?
Let me see. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah.
During Alan's bond hearing for his burglary charge, documents show his son was worried about his ability to be safely released out on bond due to his mental state. During the hearing, it says the family was assured Alan would be properly fed and taken care of by the nice people at the jail until they could do a mental evaluation on him. In April, the South Carolina Department of Mental Health ruled he was unable to stand trial and was deemed to have untreated symptoms of mental illness. The lawsuit claims the probate court for Bamberg ordered Alan to be committed to the psychiatric hospital, but he never made it there. He remained here at the Bamberg County Detention Center. During this time, the lawsuit says Alan went from 178 pounds to 101 pounds, never got his medications, and spent the bulk of his time naked and covered in his own feces and bodily fluids. It also says he was subjected to unreasonable and excessive force with tasers and chemicals, causing his mental health to decline even more. And on July 10th, a jailer found him unresponsive.
Please don't judge us, y'all. We've been trying to deal with this man, but now he's not responding real well.
Covered in feces from head to toe. And by the time he made it to the medical center in Lexington.
Oh, no, I just don't want him hurting you guys.
I'm not worried about that. I don't want him dying.
Documents show he was experiencing active heart, circulatory, liver, kidney, and respiratory failure.
He said.
Now, Alan died just 2 weeks later from multi-system organ failure. But this lawsuit isn't the only one we found. Laura, Alan's estate's also suing Southern Health Partners for medical malpractice. That's the same company that handles medical care at the Aiken County Jail. This company was also named in a lawsuit a couple of weeks ago that ended in a $1 million judgment.
Very difficult pictures and images to see, and we know we haven't heard the end of this.
Now, we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale.
Advantage of the sun today. We are going to bring in a good bit of clouds Tuesday, and then that cloud cover could give way to some rainfall heading into Wednesday, Thursday, later into the week. But staying nice and dry tonight and Tuesday, but you can see that moisture getting closer by the middle of the week. We'll have that full forecast on it coming up.
The search continues tonight for the last escaped inmate from Bibb County. Just yesterday morning, FBI agents closed in on a house here in Augusta, making the 3rd arrest.
There's a lot to unpack from his arrest. Sydney Hood joins us live in the studio with new details.
And we are still unpacking those details, trying to figure out how Barnwell managed to get here from Macon.
Let's start here at this house on Alpine Road. Early Sunday morning, deputies from various agencies, including the Richmond County Sheriff's Office and the FBI, came knocking at the door. Inside, deputies found 37-year-old Jennifer Barnwell, one of 4 inmates who escaped from the Bibb County Detention Center back in October. Deputies also found what they are calling large amounts of suspected meth, fentanyl, heroin, marijuana, and cocaine inside the home. Our cameras were the only ones rolling as law enforcement searched the home and gathered evidence. But going back to Barnwell, in early October, he was convicted on federal charges related to drug trafficking. And this is not his first, his second, or even his third run-in with law enforcement. We found charges for Barnwell going back to 2004. Barnwell spent time in the Wheeler County Correctional Facility on aggravated assault charges before getting out in 2020. So how did he travel more than 100 miles from Macon to Augusta? That's the question we're asking too. We've asked the Richmond County Sheriff's Office how the call came in and what led them to that house. They directed us to the FBI, who said most of these answers will come from the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Of course, we will keep you posted as more of these details come in.
Interesting case that wound up right here in Augusta City. Thank you. A man is dead after being hit by a vehicle early this morning on Mike Paget Highway at Finney Road. It happened near Textron and Chastain's Towing. The Richmond County coroner says the victim was walking in the southbound lane when he was hit by a vehicle headed southbound. He was pronounced dead there on the scene at 2:57 this morning. Right now, we're waiting on a positive ID before the coroner releases the name. The sheriff's office has not said if the driver is facing any charges.
Well, you can believe it. The infamous Olive Road Bridge has been hit yet again. Railroad employees tell us it was hit around 11 this morning. Now it's closed until crews finish inspecting it again. Over the years, Olive Road Bridge has become a dangerous magnet for truck drivers with that low clearance. Back in June, city leaders brought the issue to the table and even approved adding a GPS notification for drivers. Even though the city says there are more than 30 signs to prevent it from happening, it still does frequently. Between the city and CSX, talks to raise the bridge are out of question due to the high cost. They've also talked about putting in some sort of mechanism you would hit before you hit the bridge. They say it's too much of a liability for the city. In Aiken County, calls for a traffic light at a busy intersection. Right now, if you're heading through the intersection of Oscaga Lake Road and Blanchard Road, there's a T intersection there. But these days, the T stands for T-boned. Taylor Martin found there have been 40 crashes there in 2 years' time, and drivers are asking for a change.
The busy intersection of Oscaga Lake Road and Blanchard Road has a reputation. And it's not good.
You're taking your life in your hands at that intersection. Because people come flying around this corner and it's kind of blind. You don't have much room where you can see.
According to numbers from the South Carolina Department of Public Safety, there have been 40 wrecks here since 2021. For Katie Mobley, who got in an accident there 6 years ago, it's an issue she's surprised hasn't come to light sooner.
Especially now that I have had a car accident right there, I am definitely more cautious.
Some neighbors want a light at the intersection.
Maybe a 4-lane versus a 2-lane, or even maybe a protected kind of light that would be there to be able to turn out safely.
SCDOT says there are plans for a traffic study at the intersection. Neighbors just hope the study and a resolution come before it's too late.
I think it needs to be addressed in one fashion or another, either a street light or make it a 3-way stop, something. Something's got to be done because somebody's going to get killed out there.
It's inevitable that something is going to happen.
And we asked what the results of the traffic study would need to be in order for a traffic light or something to change at that intersection, but we haven't heard back from DOT yet.
Meanwhile, tonight we're expecting a rezoning decision for the old Aiken Hospital. Developers want to transform that place from office zoning to planned commercial. New plans with apartments, townhomes, parking garages, and more, all with keeping the old hospital building in its historic form. That meeting starts at 7 o'clock this evening, and we'll let you know what happens there. The first day of road work near Gate 1 at Fort Eisenhower just wrapping up, but lane closures will be back up again tomorrow morning starting at 7 in the morning. Work on the outbound lanes will be from 7 a.m. until 3:30 in the afternoon. Work on those inbound lanes running from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Leaders expect this to last until December 22nd.
Our local food banks are getting ready to feed thousands for the holidays, but inflation could get in the way. We tell you how you can help next on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
After a cloudy weekend, we did see some sunshine out there today, but unfortunately bringing back more clouds most of the week. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
Time and
Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. We do have warmer temps luckily in store just in time for the weekend, and that's when we get back more sunshine too.
The holiday season is here. We're officially 10 days from Thanksgiving. Christmas right around the corner. This year, thousands of families will turn to local food banks for meals.
But at three of our biggest food banks, rising costs from inflation means they have to spend a lot more per meal.
According to the Farm Bureau survey, last year, Thanksgiving feast for 10 cost $64, a 20% increase from the previous year's average of $53.
Well, Rio checked in with some of our local organizations to see how they're getting ready for the holidays.
Over at Golden Harvest, it's all hands on deck, preparing for a busy holiday season.
It's about to be a tough one because of everything that's been going on.
Priscilla Elliott is talking about inflation and rising food costs. For them, everything across the board is up.
It used to be $1 equals 3 meals, but because of inflation and now our numbers changing, now we have $2 equals 5 meals. It's been difficult. I'll say it's been difficult to just try to make up for the change.
Across town, the Salvation Army Center of Hope needs support too.
We're dealing with a significantly increased demand. We're seeing 2.5 times the amount of people this past year being fed and sheltered, and double the food costs.
Derek Dugan says the faces of homelessness in Augusta are rapidly changing right now.
It used to be 95% men in their middle ages. This shelter right now is sheltering more women and children than it is men.
That's why they need more support, especially volunteers, before the holidays begin. Up the road, Goodwill is working around some of those higher prices too.
If we can curtail our menus to this and help leverage that, and that helps, so really just being creative and looking at, okay, these things have an increase, so we'll focus on those and write menu items around that.
The shelves and bins may look full of food. They're hoping the community can help keep it that way.
Donate as much as you can, however you can.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
And if you'd like to donate or volunteer with any of our local organizations before the holiday season ramps up, you can head to our website, wrdw.com, where we'll have links to help.
I know they'll appreciate those donations. Coming up next in sports, Georgia tight end Brock Bowers back on the field after getting ankle surgery less than a month ago. But is he really healthy? We're going to take a closer look when we move on to sports.
First Alert Radar.
Some of the 3K students over at First Baptist in North Augusta are helping to cheer on one of their fellow classmates as she fights leukemia.
Tomorrow, little Evie and her family are heading to Disney World for her Make-A-Wish. Her teacher wanted to celebrate her and how brave she's been, so they had their very own Make-A-Wish day at school today.
Some of the kids wore their favorite Disney costumes and shirts. They had a dance party. They made Disney arts and crafts and even rode some virtual roller coasters too. And special guest Minnie Mouse showed up to say goodbye to all those kids, even Evie. So that's going to be a special trip for that family.
She leaves tomorrow. We hope she has the absolute best time.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Westminster football has a big week ahead. They are state-bound. Friday night, they knocked off the defending champs, David Emanuel Academy, 56-14. It's their third state appearance in 5 years. The Wildcats first made a trip to the state title game in 2019. That year almost mirrors this season. They won all but one before bringing home the program's first state title. Fast forward 2 years after, and they won 7-3, lost 42-14 against Windsor Academy in the finals. It's almost poetic. The Wildcats will meet Windsor once again, this time hoping to get some sweet revenge and walk away the last team standing. Saturday's blowout win in Athens against Ole Miss was full of surprises. Maybe it was a scoreboard for some of you, but one that had us scratching our head was that Brock Bowers made his return under a month ago. Bowers had ankle surgery. He returned to practice 3 weeks after that, and Saturday, we saw him suit up once again. In 3 quarters, he caught 3 passes, a touchdown, and tried his hand at blocking.
He's in good shape. He's conditioned. I don't know that he's 100%, but he's healthy and safe enough to play, and we're going to allow him to play as long as he wants to. And he wanted to go out there and compete and play, and I don't think it's a matter of how many snaps he can take. I think he'll be fine.
The Dogs now move on to their next ranked opponent, meeting Tennessee on the road. The Vols lost to Mizzou this past weekend, which secured the East and a trip back to the SEC championship for the Dogs.
All right, we'll also go Dogs to that. And guess what? Not only is it getting time to get closer to the playoffs, it's also closer to time for the holidays. It's time to hit the ice rink. Evans on Ice open now through the holidays. You might wonder, how do you bring ice to Augusta or even in the Georgia heat and rain? Each year the team says they go the extra effort to provide the best skating conditions.
In years past, it was open. This year we have a wonderful canvas tent that completely covers it. So even if it's pouring out rain, come out and enjoy ice skating with your family.
So if you want to head to Evans on Ice, hours for tonight through the 17th are 5 to 9 p.m. From the 18th through the rest of the month, hours are noon until 10.
And looking good to head to Evans on Ice for tomorrow and Wednesday, or maybe rake up some leaves by Thursday, though that ground could be pretty damp out there. Now look at that 7-day forecast just after break.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
We are excited to announce that the Medicare Specialist is now the 64 Insurance Group. And while we've expanded our portfolio to include other health insurance products, we are still your go-to for all things Medicare. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. Are64.com.
Save inside Brad.
Mike Austin Low Law Firm.
Augusta's best luxury dealer, Jim Hudson, now brings you the best GM brand, Cadillac, the best of the best. Now open, Jim Hudson Cadillac on Washington Road. And right now, during the season's best sales event, get 2.9% financing plus $1,500 purchase allowance or payments from $379 a month. Cadillacs, over 60 available, 2.9% or $379 a month at Jim Hudson Cadillac on Washington Road.
Experience it once, and you'll never forget it.
Hey, Jill, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that. What about this?
Are you 64.com?
Our motto has always been, we never leave anyone behind.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, Congress put to the test as a possible government shutdown looms. What we know about the Republican plan on Capitol Hill to avert the crisis. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, live look outside of our studios showing mostly clear night. We have a few high-level clouds passing through, but temperatures are cooling off pretty quick. We're already down to 54 at Bush Field, and temperatures will eventually work their way down to the 40s the rest of this evening into tonight. You will need that jacket the first part of the day tomorrow. We're going to stay in the 40s at least through around 8 a.m. We'll work our way close to 60 by around lunchtime, eventually seeing our high temps tomorrow in the mid-60s. And you can see we are going to hang on to a good bit of cloud cover tomorrow, but staying rain-free. The chance for maybe a few stray showers will show up Wednesday into Thursday, possibly Friday, but temperatures will actually be warming up as we close out the week. Should be able to see the low 70s by Saturday.
Riley, thanks. Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock on NBC 26.
Then we're back for more News 12 at 11. We'll see you then.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
Raise your mugs, Knicks fans. Become a